Hello, everyone. I was hoping to go live today on YouTube. The tech gods were not in my favor, so I've decided to treat Zoom like a live class and record it this way so that we can have our third eye flow. And I'm going to be looking at my notes. So hello, I am Jessica of Northern Atlas. You can come and join me on the mat on an easy seat while I get myself organized here. So, so today's third eye flow is all about bringing awareness to your intuition. Your third eye chakra is just kind of between your eyebrows. It's a really nice spot to gently massage any day of the week. Today, largely due to alliteration, we're doing a Thursday third eye flow. So please join the Resilient Witches Collective to see these kinds of ceremonies and many, many more. All the links are below. With me today, I have a bit of an altar to support me during my practice. So I've got some amethyst. This is one of my first sort of larger geodes. And in this little tin, I've got some lavender. I've got it hidden from my cats. And then I've got a wet specimen. This is a frog that I found out on the trail. And I learned recently that frogs and lizards naturally have what is called a third eye. So I thought, I've had him for a little while, and I thought he could lend us some support today. I have already smudged the space. I used a cedar smudge, and it smells really nice, really beautiful in here. The cedar is right from the backyard, and it is entwined with a bit of lavender as well. So the cedar is from, like I said, the backyard. There's a beautiful hedgerow that separates us, our home, from the homes behind us. And this is just a really lovely practice. Cedar is in such abundance in this area of Ontario where I live. And I feel it really helps to honor the local land as well as the traditional territory. So I'm going to read off my land acknowledgement statement. This is something that I'd like to incorporate into every yoga practice, regardless of where I might be. So my yoga practice is taking place at home, and I acknowledge that I live, work, and practice on the traditional territory of the Petun, the Anishinaabe, Odawa, and Mississauga people. And this is a territory that is governed by Treaty 45 and a half, known as the Saugeen Treaty of 1836. It's also a very sketchy treaty, so feel free to look into that history. So some housekeeping. Today's flow is ideally going to take about 15 minutes, and we'll move from seated and slowly move into standing. And after our standing pose, we're going to do a hip opener, very simple hip opener, and a spinal twist, and cool down in Savasana, where you're welcome to relax deeply. I will be demonstrating most of the poses today, but to keep an eye on comments and to make sure that you can hear me, because the mic is fixed in one particular spot. Sometimes I will take periodic breaks just to make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. Sometimes poses in their natural form would take, chin to chest. It might be very hard. Sometimes I might even be looking away from the camera and the mic. So there will be times where I might not be in the exact pose, but listen out for those verbal cues. Okay. All right. So, as you notice, I am on not only a yoga mat, but on my blanket. I'm also seated on a little pillow that I like to use in my practice. And just to keep me nice and snug, I have got my 2 blocks right under my knees, and it is making me feel quite secure and a little less vulnerable. So feel free to snug yourself in as well if you don't have or don't want to use those props. By all means, do what feels really nice on your body. What I like about the blocks under my knees is that I'm not resting all of my weight on my ankles. So that's another perk to having them here. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is lengthen up through your spine and draw your shoulders away from your ears. I like to do a little shoulder roll just so we know, okay, this is way too high. Back down. Ooh, that feels kind of nice. And relax the muscles in your face. You might even want to smile and close your eyes or just gaze softly, gently at the ground. We're going to be practicing an Ujjayi breath, which invites you to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and the exhale is meant to be quite audible. So it'll be like this. So on your next inhale, breathe in through your nose, feel your breath flow down the back of your throat. And as you exhale out through your mouth, audible sigh. We don't need to go quickly. We're intending to go quite slowly through this. Breathe in. Your imagination is wild. Breathe out. Your imagination is free. Breathe in. You are open to the universe. Breathe out. You are guided by love. Another breath in and out. Perfect. All right, now we are going to get into a bit of movement. I'm going to move my blocks. I'm going to cast aside my trusty pillow, and I'm going to keep my blanket underneath me. I have very sensitive knees, so I really like to have at least a blanket with me and not too far away. So however is most comfortable, we're going to move from this easy seat into downward facing dog. So I'm going to spin around. I'm on my knees, but I've got my blanket, so I'm feeling okay. And I'm carrying that long spine, those rolled back shoulders that we took with us into the easy seat. So what we're going to do is downward facing dog, and then we're just going to simply walk our legs up to the top of the mat, and hopefully I'll still be in shot here. So I'm curling my toes under, sacrificing my socks, taking them off. I usually start with socks on. Sensory issues, leave a comment if you have lots of sensory issues, because I do too, and yoga practice can really activate that sensitivity. but it can also activate our strength and our power. So counterbalances. So I'm on a tabletop position. You're going to want to have your knees directly under your hips and your arms shoulder length distance. Going to curl under those toes, and we're going to hinge up from the waist. Imagine you've got a string wrapped around you or a rope wrapped around you, and someone's just lifting up those hips. Now, the big thing in downward dog is that we want the hips to be the highest point. Okay, so now we're going to walk, 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 walk up to the top of the mat. And we are in a forward fold. And then you can come halfway up, look up, 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 up. Back down, forward fold. And slowly rise up into mountain pose. We're going to open the hands and lift them up into a salute. You can interlace your fingers. I'll show you over here this way. So you're interlacing your fingers. We're going to do a slight lean to the right. Come back to center, slight lean to the left, back to center. You're doing all of this at the top of your mat. So now you're going to bring your arms back. We're starting in mountain pose. And you're going to be facing lengthways, but I'm going to face this way just so you can see me. I'm bringing one of my blocks to my right foot, lining it up there. From mountain pose, we're going to bend the knees just a little bit and drive all of your energy, all of your support into that right leg. You're going to feel your left leg starting to lift up. We're actually going to put that toes, the ball of the foot of your left foot, onto that block. This is going to be a modified eagle pose. You want your arms out. You feel that support, both from that driving force of your right leg, as well as the balance of your left foot. And we're going to bring the arms together. We want elbows stacked right across your chest, right across your heart. And bring up the arms and make the backs of the hands touch. So this is a modified eagle, and this is our peak pose. If you would like to have things a bit more of a challenge, you can lift your block so that it's a bit higher. It's also, at least for me, a little less sturdy. Or you can actually go no block at all. So we're going to take a few breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And release those arms, those elbows, that left leg. Come back into mountain pose and grab your other block, or simply swap your blocks. Make sure to bend your knees just a touch and start to drive the balance, the energy, the force into that left leg The right leg is just naturally wanting to lift up now. Cross it over your knee and let it sit. Let it poise on the block on your left leg. We're gonna sweep our arms together, elbows stacked. Trying to remember which direction I was going. The idea is that we had the right arm on top last time, so you're gonna have your left arm on top this time. Bend those elbows, touch the backs of your hands. And we're gonna take some breaths here. Feel it in your belly. Feel it in your arms. Feel that compression in your chest. And release. Back into mountain pose. Let's actually salute up, bring those arms up. Do another slight lean to the right, back to center. Slight lean to the left, back to center. I've removed my blocks as I do not need them at this point. So from mountain pose, we're going to hinge down, forward fold, chin to chest. Let your hands touch the mat and bring back some awareness into the feet. And kick out your right leg, then your left, hinge up, downward dog. We're going to gently lower the knees onto the mat. And you want to open your hips, you want to open your knees as wide as is comfortable. And then you're going to hinge back, sending your tailbone to your feet. Keep your arms nice and long, quite activated. We're in an extended child's pose. You can look softly at the ground. You can close your eyes, whatever feels natural. Now we're going to sweep both arms behind us. And you can rest your forehead where that third eye lives, right on your mat or on your blanket in my case. A few breaths here. Blink those eyes open. Palms under your shoulders. We're going to sit up and then in whatever way feels comfortable, going to get onto our backs. This is another area that I like to have a blanket underneath me, underneath my low back, because there is such a natural dip for so many of us. I like to offer that as support to myself when I'm going to be getting onto my back. About there. So we're going to slowly come back flush with the mat. And my knees are still up. In order to help get the spine flush with the mat, let's make sure the feet are underneath your knees. And you're going to place your palms on the mat as support. And lift up those hips. Try not to squeeze the rump. It's very helpful to get up there, but it's not necessary, and it can cause strain elsewhere in the body. So let's stay here for a few breaths. And this will help us curl the spine so that when you lower your back slowly, slowly, slowly down, you feel it more flush with the mat. And keeping our knees here, we're going to lift the right leg over the left knee. Let's open the arms, open the chest, chin up just a touch. And I'm going to be looking to the right, but as I said, the mic is to my left. And as I look to the right, my legs, the whole kit and caboodle, are going to swing down softly to the left. So let's do that. When you're ready, back to center. We're going to bring the arms together, palms to the mat, back to bridge pose. Anything but clenching the butt. We're trying to bring all of the energy from the hips rather than from below with the rump. And slowly, slowly back down. Let the spine happily, naturally set here. And now we're going to anchor that right knee, that right foot, that right knee. Lift the left leg. I don't quite have enough room for this pose here. Open those arms wide, head to the left, and twist. When you're ready, back to center. There's no rush, no hurry. And if you have a blanket, feel free to get that ready to be on top of you rather than under you. Let's do one more bridge pose from the hips. Smiling up to the heavens. Back down, curling that tailbone. And extend your legs out long. And if you would like, get that blanket over you because we are entering Savasana. Let out big breaths, pass any gas that's been building up during this practice, and let your eyes close. You can yawn. Let your gaze soften. Let your muscles relax. Let them fall away to the side. The idea here is ease. The idea here is relaxation. And I would like you to stay here in Savasana, corpse pose. This is an integral part of the practice. This is what is known as integration. So, this is a moment in time where you have already experienced yourself in your body. There's been that mind body connection, and how we get to that mind body spirit connection is to go through a cool down, go through a savasana where we can just relax and deeply, deeply relax in our bodies, in the new knowledge that we have from our bodies. Today, we've been working on your third eye. And if you're finding that your eyes are maybe opening, it's very difficult to keep them closed or fixed on a certain spot. What you can do is actually look up, 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 as if you're looking up at your own eyebrows. Sounds impossible, kind of is, because as you keep looking up, up, up at your eyebrows, aka your third eye, you'll notice that it will actually be simpler to just keep them closed. Staying in Savasana, I want you to remember that your well of inner wisdom never runs dry, always runs deep. You transcend your ego's limitations, and this allows you and your higher self to lead you through chance, through circumstance. The third eye is all about that compass in your life, how you experience and know what wisdom is available to you. You are worthy because the universe created you. Your intuition, that gut feeling, that inner knowing, that psychic ability, that wisdom, that's your superpower. Is it any wonder that there have been people in your life who have tried to tell you that that superpower is wrong? But you know, as of today, your intuition is to be trusted. You know who you are. You can love who you are. You're capable, you're powerful, and you're strong. When you're ready, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your nose. Feel the room around you. Feel the air in the room moving over your skin, over your clothes, over your blanket. Bring back your awareness to this dimension, to this plane, to this space that we share. Blink your eyes open. There's no need to rush. And whichever direction you would like, roll onto your side as slowly as you'd like. No need to hurry. Push yourself up. Use your arm as slow as can be. And come into the easy seat that we started with. Let your palms Sit on your knee, palms up to the sky. No need to sparkle. Take a breath in, let it out. Try an Ujjayi breath again, in through the nose, audibly out through the mouth. You can always come back to the Ujjayi breath. There's no need to be anyone but oneself. Let's bring palms together to the third eye. Let your thumbs touch that third eye that's now been awakened. Peace in our thoughts, peace in our words, and peace in our hearts. Please join me to sum up this class with an Om. We'll take a breath in, and on the exhale, however it sounds and feels good to you. Breath in. Oh. Namaste.